We're talking about Ozobots today, and Ozobots is a lightning lesson that we take to elementary schools. This one is for grades 4 and grades 5 and can go about 45 minutes to an hour, just depending on the schedule of the class. So Ozobots, we have 30 Ozobots at PPLD, and I have a charging station that can charge 18 of them at once. And this will all look familiar to you. You simply plug in the port, and if they needed charging, they'd all be blinking red. And you would charge them. I think it takes maybe an hour to get them all green. And each one of these connects into like a regular phone charger right in there. And you just have to make sure you're getting it in there so that it lights up. I have an extra charger, not one like this, but an extra one for all the additional Ozobots we have. Be sure to bring the charging units with you to the school because you will have to plug them all in and have them charging between classes if you have more than one session. Okay, well, what's in your kit? You have instructions of the way I've done it, and I'm always looking for ways to improve things, so this is a place to start. And also, you have packets, one for each student. It's pretty paper heavy, yes, but I think it's important. They have the cover one, which is an important part of this lesson because they have to calibrate their Ozobot, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But then there are about 5 pages of practicing how to draw the colored coding lines and the colored codes. And this just helps them really get better at using that marker and using the little blocks of color that are needed for instructing the Ozobot. Okay, so packets, one for each student, and then also a color code sheet, one for each student as well. Plus, you'll have 30 sets of markers, one for each student. Of course, one Ozobot for each student. And also regular printer paper and ledger size printer paper. Okay, so let's get started. An Ozobot is a robot, obviously, but it follows lines and it reads colors. And the way you put color onto the line is how you're instructing the robot. And so the first thing I will do in any lightning lesson is give a PPLD introduction. And I will usually compare public libraries to school libraries. But you talk about what you want to talk about about PPLD, what you're excited about. And next I will tell them that the one Ozobot rule is to be gentle with the robot. This equipment belongs to Pikes Peak Library District and should not be dropped or kicked or thrown. It's an expensive piece of equipment, and I like to say that too. Okay, well, let's get started. I'll take one of these charged Ozobots. And the first thing I do is I sit down on the floor and let all the students watch me from above. And I'm going to show them how to calibrate their Ozobot. Now, normally you would press this round button to turn it on. You press it once to turn it on. You press it once to turn it off. But to calibrate it, you're going to hold that on-off button for 2 seconds. 1, 2. And it spins and blinks green when it's calibrated. Now, why do you have to calibrate? Well, it matches the Ozobot to the lighting in the room. And of course, rooms have different lighting. So even during one session in a room, you may need to encourage students to calibrate again if it doesn't seem like their Ozobot is reading their codes very well. Okay, so that's the first page. The student will keep this page just in case they need to calibrate again. All right, The next pages have to do with practicing drawing the lines that Ozobot will follow. It reads black, green, red, and blue. And depending on the way these colors are on the sheet, instructs the robot. The front of the robot looks like a couple of headlights here, and all the blinking lights on top of those headlights. So let's place it on the line here and see what it wants to, see what it does. That code told it to go fast. That code told it to turn around. And it got confused after that. And that code told it to slow down. This is the first sheet that they're going to practice. And I'm just going to put a little protective sheet under it. Just a regular marker. They're new, so the edges are real sharp on it, which is nice. But I show the kids that it's just a matter of drawing one straight line. Doesn't have to be perfect. It can be wavy a little bit. And let's see if Ozobot will read that. Okay, see how it turns color? It's going over green, it turns green. So that's fun. Now, what kids will sometimes do if they don't think that this is a perfect line, which it's not, but it's good enough. But kids will tend to want to do it again. They'll want to do more like this. Or they'll just want to kind of make it thick. And I will show them this, and then I will show them whether Ozobot will read it. Oh, did pretty good that time. So, okay, that was okay. But kids also kind of do more like this kind of thing, you know, just depending on who the kid is. And so the more they do, the thicker it gets. And I just try to get them to make it a simple black line. All right, well, this one's doing it, so okay. Proving me wrong, Ozobot. Okay. So after that piece of paper, you will give them others. And so for instance, on this one, we are going to finish adding the U-turn codes to make sure Evo won't get stuck at the end of the lines. So it looks like I need a red and a blue, and the kids will just finish these activities. And so for these little blocks, it's difficult. They need practice getting one little speck of color in the block and then finishing that up. As you know, some students will do this just fine, others will struggle. And I just keep working with the ones that struggle. Okay, so put it at the end. All right, and there are my U-turns. All right, this one's fun down here. A red, green makes it do a tornado. And a red, green, black, blue does a back walk. So that's fun too. After they finish their packet, I give them a sheet of the regular size printer paper, and they can start drawing their own code lines. And with that, I also give them the codes, kind of like a little cheat sheet, so that they know if they want their Ozobot to do something, they know what colors and in what order to do them. I like to remind kids at this point that Ozobot does best with right angles and with gentle curves, not, well, I should get that curve looking better, not something like this. That being said, they will do what they want to do. And so I have this sample of a student's Ozobot that, or her path that she was drawing. And let's see, it's following the black line, which is fine, sort of, but kind of straying as well over the bunny. And I don't stress too much over this kind of thing. I appreciate that kids are being creative. And so, and it's all just an experiment for them anyway, and it makes it fun for them. The large paper I will offer to kids who are really into it, and if they want to do a much larger challenge and maybe share it with the students at their same desk or table, then I encourage them to do that. And that is Ozobots. At the end, you have them each turn off their Ozobot with one press of the on-off button, and you go collect them. They'll tend to want to bring a whole group to you, but just go collect them and plug them right into your charger so that they can get as much juice as possible before the next lesson. If you have any questions, contact me, Betty McDonald, at bmcdonald@ppld.org. Thanks for watching.